Hi everyone, I'm Duthie, and in this mini talk I want to make a few comments about the Myers-Briggs type indicators, or what are known in brief as the MBTI. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with the MBTI. I struggle with it because not necessarily of the instrument itself, but the way that it gets used and sometimes abused by both people that administer it and those that participate in workshops where they learn about themselves through it. The main reason for this is because the MBTI is one of those tools that characterises people in certain ways, and people will use it to put other people in boxes, or more unhelpfully from my perspective, they put themselves in boxes. So you hear people say things like, that's just the way I am, get over it, as an example of an unhealthy use of the MBTI. However, despite the fact that it gets used in unhelpful ways in many situations, I believe that it remains one of the most useful tools that we've got for helping people to understand themselves and other people in lots of different scenarios, including in particular the workplace. Now, psychologists sometimes aren't a big fan of the MBTI, and I can understand some of the reasoning behind that. However, as I said, for me, from a practical perspective, it continues to dish up for people deep insight and some of those profound aha moments as people understand the way that they're wired together and their interactions with other people. If you're not familiar with it, the MBTI looks at 4 different dimensions of our personality and helps us understand our preferences in each of those areas. The first one is in relation to energy, how we derive our energy and how we direct our energy. The second one is about how we see the world, how we take in information. Thirdly, it helps us understand how we process that information and make judgments about that information. And lastly, it looks at our posture in the world, in particular whether we like to control our environment or whether we like to go with the flow. So essentially the MBTI looks at our preferences in one of two, on each of those scales, and our preference to go one way or the other and on some defined, in some defined ways. So if you look at all the different combinations of those, you end up with 16 basic different personality types. So as I said, I think it remains a really useful tool for us to use, particularly in the workplace, but also in a home scenario, in relationship with partners, or what have you. So if you haven't had any exposure to the MBTI and you're looking to understand a bit more about how you operate as a person, and in particular how you engage in groups and at the workplace, then I highly recommend